Hello and welcome back to our final segment on this month's edition of the President's Table. And our discussion item for this segment is a beautiful new addition to campus, our new Freshman Residence Hall. I started to say dormitory, but we don't call them dormitories anymore, right?
No, we do not.
No, this is residential living and learning. And my guests are Susan Cohn, who is the hall director of the new Residence Hall, Hannah Durham, who is a resident assistant and also the president of the Residence Hall Association,
Yes.
right? And Laura McNaughton, who is also a resident assistant.
Yeah.
And Susan, let me start with you. Anytime you open up a new building on campus, it's kind of an exciting moment. It's a big deal. This is one that about 250 students deal with up close and personal every day. What is it, what makes this a special moment in the life of the university to have a new residence hall on campus?
I think you could see the reaction on students' faces when they came to campus our opening day. They were just so excited, I think, to have that opportunity and that experience of being the first on our campus to do something. This building is changing campus culture and history and what we're planning to do for the future, and just with the next phases that are going up. And I think there's going to be more of those opportunities to include our students in being the first of many more opportunities to come, especially in residential living and learning and focusing on that on-campus housing experience.
Right. And I know as a university we're trying to get more students living and learning on campus. Why is that important?
I think it really connects the student to their college experience. They have an outside of the classroom development opportunity to connect to college students outside of the classroom and develop as a leader and learn responsibility and just connect to maybe some different students that they might not have necessarily been subjected to in maybe a rural or a city or just their normal high school experience. So we're giving them these life opportunities to connect to just different individuals on a new level.
Right. Wherever they're coming from, it's going to be different.
And it will
That's
be
the
different.
idea. Hannah, let me ask you a question about what it's like to live in the hall, and especially what makes this particular residence hall kind of, well, better than some others in terms of like technology or amenities or conveniences. What makes it a neat place to live?
Some differences with technology that we have in this building is we have swipe cards for students to get into their room. They use their ID cards to get in, kind of like you would at a hotel, which they really like. We have a new multi-purpose room that we can do programming in. We have our hall council meetings in, which is another thing that has just completely changed the culture of our building, is this new hall council that we have up, and the student involvement that came with it. We have a hall council that is very involved in programming, in homecoming events, in main event. They were able to come and talk to prospective students about what it's like to live in this new building and things that they liked about it, and just kind of how the culture is in our building.
Right. So a lot of opportunities for engagement and interaction. Lauren, how about you, from your perspective? What's it like living over there?
From my perspective, it's a completely different kind of environment and a different kind of community from some of the other residence halls. With the idea of it being new, I've talked to a lot of my residents who feel like it's more almost exclusive because they're in this new hall. Ooh, I'm in the new hall. Everything's nice. It's brand new. It still smells like new building in there, and they love living in it.
You can only be the first resident one time, right?
Exactly, exactly. And they love the opportunities that come with it. So they know that, yes, we are in the new building, which means we have to represent our campus and our community. And they like talking to their friends who are residents in other halls, bringing them to our programs, discussing, cool community things that we do with our residents, and it's expanding to other halls, which is awesome.
Oh, that's neat. So it has an impact on the whole university community.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, what about the future, Susan? What's our next big project in residential living and learning?
Definitely phase 2, the next hall that will be going up. It's going to be twice the size of phase 1 with 500 bed spaces. So we're really trying to keep in mind our enrollment increase with what Mary Hendricks was saying previously of, we're trying to reach our goal of 12,000 next fall, and we need to create more bed spaces with these students in mind. So we want to focus on the on-campus experience as well with that.
Right. How many students do we have living on campus right now?
1,800.
About 1,800. And where do we want to be?
Definitely, from what I've heard, over 3,000 eventually. After phase 2, we have 2 other halls that we're thinking about, which are phase 3 and phase 4.
Right.
So we definitely want to keep up with this enrollment influx, but also we are talking about bringing a new group of students with the Korean students that are going to be coming to campus, and obviously we're going to have to have opportunities for them to have spaces in our halls.
Right.
It won't be them going home every day after class. So we are going to
back
keep
to Seoul on the weekends.
definitely that. So we'll keep that in mind definitely as we're progressing and creating more residence halls for all these students that are coming.
The Korean program is something we've talked about on another episode, but can you talk very briefly about how many we got coming and what kind of cultural opportunities we want to create for them, that kind of thing? Because this is kind of a new thing for the university, to bring over a large group of international students all at once.
Definitely.
And try to sort of stir them into campus life.
Definitely. From what I've been told, I'm not by any means the residential living and learning representative on this topic, but I've been told we're expecting between 150 and plus Korean students coming to campus starting this spring. And with that, we want to create sort of an inclusive community by having them possibly paired up with traditional, like American traditional college student.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at different ways in housing of how we can pair roommates together, in that, keeping that in mind, that they can have an opportunity to see some of our traditional commerce students.
Right.
And what they experience here.
Right. Show them what life is like in Cow Hill, Texas.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we just have a few seconds left. When we do something new like this, it creates great new opportunities and creates sort of a spirit and excitement on campus. But there's always challenges. Real quickly, Hannah, what are some of the challenges that have come up that perhaps we didn't anticipate, and how have we dealt with them in the new hall?
Some of the challenges, just speaking from like an RHA standpoint, we are working on building a hall council in each residence hall. That was something that we had a lot more interest in building hall council and people that wanted positions in it.
Really? Well, that's a good problem.
It is a good problem
Yeah.
to have. So that's definitely something that that we can use to our advantage, and
Right.
that we have these campus leaders that are going to be leading our campus for the next 4 years and that are going to make other improvements. So we did find an awesome hall council, and we got them started up. And for people that might not have the position that they wanted, we're able to create that involvement for them, whether it be with our homecoming activities, with our RHA executive board, and things like that.
Right. Lauren, last word, 25 words or less. What would you tell a prospective student about living on campus?
Living on campus is definitely worth it. We have tons of community involvement. There's stuff going on, and it's an all-around great place to live.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you all for being our guests on the President's Table. Susan Cohn, Hannah Durham, and Lauren McNaughton, and thank you for making our Residence for Life program so successful. And thank you for joining us on this month's episode of The President's Perspective.